I fell in love online using carefully edited photos. After we broke up, my online boyfriend flew to my city, but couldn't he find me for a whole month. When I went downstairs to take out the trash, he grabbed me and asked, "Hey chubby, have you seen this beauty in the photo?" One evening with messy hair and slippers, I went downstairs to throw out the garbage. As I was walking, someone kept calling me from behind, "Hey chubby girl. Hey you there chubby girl." In front, the more I heard it, the more my brows furrowed. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I threw the trash on the ground with a thud, put my hands on my hips, turned around, and started yelling. "Who are you calling chubby girl? Can't you speak properly? What's wrong with being chubby? Did I eat your food? You call me chubby girl, then I'll call you shorty, baldy, greasy uncle." I had a rich vocabulary ready, squinting my eyes as I prepared to strike at any moment. Standing at about 6 feet 2 inches, with a well-proportioned figure, nothing to attack there. Next I checked the hair, jet black and luxuriant, no weak points to exploit. I took a few steps closer to get a better look at the face. The guy was wearing a black hoodie, his cropped hair neat and clean with fair skin. His overly refined features made my heart sink. Holy shit, it's Ethan Cole, my online boyfriend. How is he even hotter than in his photos? Wait, no, I mean, how the hell did he track me down here? Just as I stood there gaping, a chubby little boy came running up beside us, panting as he stopped between us, and piped up in a childish voice, "Sis, the big brother was calling for me." He pointed at himself, me, I'm little chubby. My face flushed crimson, leaving me utterly speechless. The boy raised his chin with amusement. "What's wrong? Not going to keep scolding me. What were you going to call me?" I immediately deflated. "Of course, I was going to call you a handsome hunk." "Not bad taste," he said with a look that clearly meant you've got some sense, handing me his phone. "Then have you seen this girl?" On the screen was unmistakably my heavily edited photo, delicate little nose, slender arm contour, swan-like neck, and those sparkling big eyes. The difference between that and my current real self, just about 50,000 in plastic surgery fees and 20 pounds of flesh. When I remained silent for a long moment, Ethan waved his phone with those slender fingers of his. "Hey, what are you staring at?" I swallowed hard and pretended to be calm, shaking my head. "Don't know him, never seen him before." "That's weird, but your voice sounds a lot like hers, and your looks." He put away his phone and stared at my face for 2 seconds. "There's a slight resemblance too." My heart immediately jumped to my throat. "Handsome. My dad's about to give birth. I gotta go." I sprinted all the way home, clutching a huge bag of trash. After double locking the door, I sat on the sofa for a long time, my heart still pounding wildly. I never in my wildest dreams imagined Ethan would show up at my door, especially since he'd been utterly cold when I broke up with him. Our breakup scene went roughly like this: me, let us break up. Ethan, okay. Me, I'm serious. Ethan, MHM is cold, as if he wasn't the one who kept calling me baby last night, making my heart flutter. Furious, I blocked and deleted him on the spot, feeling like all my hesitation and reluctance were just a joke. It was just online dating. He never took it seriously, at least that's what I thought at the time. I never expected him to show up at my door without saying a word. After some thought, I quietly removed him from my block list. The moment he was unblocked, my phone vibrated with a message: "Baby, I miss you." He clearly didn't anticipate the message would actually send, and within 0.01 seconds, he frantically hit recall. "Oh, finally decided to unblock me." He sent the location pin, a coffee shop not far from me. "Let us meet," I replied bluntly. "No. Breakups should be said face to face, no go home." He persisted. "Just one meeting." "I don't believe you could say break up to my face." I thought about it and realized I couldn't quite put it into words. "But this is just too narcissistic, shameless," I muttered under my breath. "Then it's even more reason not to see you go back. I already have a new boyfriend, so don't bother me anymore." He instantly sent a question mark, and the chat box stayed in the typing state for a long time before he finally sent, "I can be the other man. I'm serious, don't bother me anymore." As soon as I sent the message, I quickly blocked him, afraid that he might say something more that would make me waver. "I'm serious too." The sentence remained in Ethan's chat box, accompanied only by a red exclamation mark. I threw my phone aside, fished out a small mirror from the couch crevice, and stared blankly at my reflection. A perfectly ordinary face, neither shockingly ugly nor breathtakingly stunning. I tossed the mirror aside and absent-mindedly poked at the soft flesh on my belly. I stand 5 feet 3 inches tall and weigh 130 pounds. Some call me slightly chubby, others insist I'm genuinely fat. In short, she wasn't thin, just an ordinary face paired with a less than perfect figure. If it weren't for my extraordinary photo editing skills, I probably would never have crossed paths with Ethan in this lifetime. This much I knew all too well: women might believe in inner beauty, but men absolutely never would. I'd better not even think about meeting him. No need to humiliate myself. For after mentally preparing myself, I stayed home for 2 days, figuring Ethan must have left by now. After all, it was just a 3-month online relationship, and I even told him I had a new boyfriend. Surely he wouldn't still be hung up on me. But I never expected he left at all. Not only that, he started camping out at our neighborhood entrance whenever possible. He even managed to infiltrate our community-esque gossip hub, the yoga group of middle-aged women at the community center, to gather information about me. Coincidentally, my mom was also a member of this yoga army. In the evening, as I was returning home with groceries, I suddenly saw him and that chubby little boy sitting on either side of my mom, all 3 of them cracking sunflower seeds together. My eyes nearly popped out of my head, and my mind was in turmoil. What the hell? How did he even track down my mom? I frowned, trying to think of an excuse to get my mom to leave. Just then, Ethan turned on his phone screen and asked my mom with a serious expression, "Annie, do you know her?" The little boy sitting nearby also pointed at the phone screen and said, "Grandma, this is my mom. She has gone missing, and I miss her so much." A giant question mark popped up in my head. What seriously painless motherhood? "I've seen everyone in this community. Let me take a look for you." My mother waved her small fan, squinting her eyes as she stared intently at the screen for quite a while. My heart sank. This is bad. Others might not recognize me, but my mom definitely would. Oh no, I'm about to be exposed. Don't know her, but this girl looks. At this point in my mom's speech, I came running over and covered her mouth from behind. Mom, what nonsense are you talking about here? Sorry about that. It's really just wishful thinking. How could someone like me possibly be with such a pretty girl? As I was speaking, I suddenly paused. Wait, what did you just say, Mom? Such unladylike behavior. My mom slapped my hand away sharply. I said, this girl is really beautiful. What's the problem? I choked hard. This must be the pinnacle of photo editing. So extreme, even your own mother wouldn't recognize you. No, it's fine, I said, stepping forward to loop my arm through Mom's and pulling her along. Mom, you forgot Dad's about to give birth. We need to hurry home. Before Mom's brain could process, this idea already dragged her halfway down the street. Completely baffled, Mom protested. What nonsense are you spouting now? You really should find a job. I thought about it and decided I couldn't let my mom get too close to Ethan, or I'd be exposed sooner or later. After hesitating for 0.01 seconds, I decided to spread some rumors. Sorry, Ethan. I looked around, then linked arms with my mom and whispered, Mom, this guy has been lurking around our neighborhood for days with a kid refusing to leave. He is clearly up to no good. I just don't want you associating with shady characters like him. Is that so? My mom said skeptically. It can't be. That young man is so handsome. How could he possibly be a bad guy? I heard he is a poor guy who hangs around upscale neighborhoods looking for a wealthy woman to be a stepmom to his kid. My mom sighed with relief. Then it's fine. After all, our family doesn't have much money. Come on, Auntie, don't you and Uncle still have your pensions? How did you know? I blurted out before realizing my mistake. That was clearly a man's voice. I turned around stiffly to see Ethan's teasing face. Annie told me, of course, he said, handing over the fan in his hand. Auntie, you forgot your fan. Oh my, what a good boy. My mom casually took the fan, completely ignoring the plea in my eyes. I'll head off first, you young folks chat. I glanced at Ethan and turned to leave. Mom, wait for me. Ethan swiftly grabbed the hood of my jacket. Get back here. I turned around reluctantly. What do you want? I'm shady. I'm a poor boy. I avoided his gaze and muttered under my breath. ISNT, that true? You're always hanging around our neighborhood and you don't even live here. Who told you I don't live here? He rolled his eyes and showed me a group chat on his phone. See, I'm a distinguished homeowner too. Okay. Oh wow, how did he get into the homeowners group? And another thing. He raised an eyebrow and leaned in closer. Who told you I was some poor kid? Actually, he was the one who told me when we were dating online. He said he was a broke student who worked part-time to get by. Besides taking ads on social media, he also worked at construction sites. Occasionally, he'd disappear for a few hours, then send me a pitiful voice message. Baby, I just got back from working at the construction site. I'm so tired. I don't have much money. Baby, will you look down on me? At first I thought he was joking until he sent me that video of him shirtless at the construction site. In the video, glistening beads of sweat were rolling down Ethan's sun-kissed abs. He glanced at the camera, then turned around and raised his arm, revealing his broad shoulders, the defined muscles of his forearm, and that impossibly narrow waist accentuated by contrast. That video is still saved in my phone favorites. I could never bring myself to delete it. How could I ever look down on him? I only hate that I lack the means. If only I were a wealthy woman, I'd keep Ethan as my personal entertainer, filling the house with bricks just to watch him move them around for me every day. At this thought, I couldn't help stealing a glance at Ethan's waist. Even through his clothes, you could see it was lean and powerfully built. Lost in thought, Ethan's slender fingers snapped in front of my face. Hey, why are you blushing? What are you thinking about? I quickly averted my gaze. Ahem. It's just too hot. Oh, Ethan clearly didn't believe me, but didn't press further. So, who told you I was some poor guy? I figured it out myself. He looked down at his clothes. Where exactly did you get that idea from? I also took a look. Gotta say, they're all big name brands. Oh, Armani, I said, stubbornly tilting my chin up. I thought you were wearing knockoffs. Ethan looked speechless. Just then a chubby little boy came running over and hugged his leg. Daddy. Instantly, Ethan's expression softened, his tone turning gentle. What is it, Leo? I froze. Her name is Leo. Ethan used to mention Leo to me often. Time to take Leo for a walk. Time to feed Leo. I always thought Leo was Ethan's pet dog. He is actually his son. The little boy clung to Ethan's arm and looked at me. Yeah, what's wrong, sis? It's nothing. I waved my hand. I should go. I know your uncle is about to give birth, right? Ethan picked up Leo. Alright, go ahead. Oh, his accusatory stare made me feel guilty, like some heartless scoundrel. I didn't dare look back as I hurried away. 6. Ethan disappeared for several days after that. Just when I thought our chapter was closed, another handsome man came knocking at my door. On an ordinary afternoon, I was washing dishes in the kitchen when my mom suddenly rushed in, barely containing her excitement. Your friend is here to see you. Hurry up. Soap bubbles cover my hands as I asked in confusion, which friend? Is it Chloe? Tell her to wait 2 minutes. I'll finish washing these first. Oh, it's not Chloe. You'll know when you go out. My mom grabbed the dishes with one hand while vigorously pushing me out with the other. I'll wash these. You go now. After all these years, finally a boy comes looking for you. Your love life is arriving. Love is here. I barely had time to wipe my hands before my mom pushed me out of the kitchen. Losing my balance from the momentum, I stumbled a few steps and then fell into a sweet, soft embrace. I froze for a moment, then looked up into a pair of beautiful eyes. The guy was about 5 feet 10 inches tall, wearing a white shirt and black dress pants that made his flawless fair skin look even more radiant, enough to make any girl, including me, feel envious. Be careful. The handsome man's voice was distant, his beautiful eyes narrowed, but devoid of warmth. I scrambled to stand properly. You are. As I straightened up, the handsome man took a step back. He shook his head without speaking, unhurriedly smoothing the wrinkles ID made on his clothes. His gaze swept over me with scrutiny and disdain before he simply uttered a soft tsh. His body language was so obvious, I could practically hear his thoughts. This is it. Me, are you out of your mind? The handsome guy curled his lips and extended his pale fingers. Hello, I'm Julian Shin, Ethan's best friend. My heart skipped a beat. Is he here to seek justice for his buddy? I don't know any Ethan. I ignored his outstretched hand. What do you want with me? Julian crossed his arms and smiled faintly. I wanted to see what kind of woman could make Ethan lose his soul. I looked up at him. What do you mean? He slightly lowered his head and whispered in my ear, stop pretending. I know it's you who had the online romance with Ethan. I played dumb. What nonsense are you talking about? I don't understand. He smiled gently with a curved mouth. I can understand. After all, if I looked like you, I probably wouldn't. He admitted either. I stayed silent for a long while before saying fine. Just as the atmosphere was growing tense, my mom walked out of the kitchen. What's the matter, Lily? Not even pouring tea for your good friend? My mom casually grabbed a coat and headed for the door. You young people chat, I'll go out for a walk. Before closing the door, she didn't forget to give me a meaningful look. Make the most of it. I couldn't help but take a deep breath, lowering my head to massage my temples. My silly mom thought my love had finally arrived, all excited. Little did she know it was actually my love rival who showed up. Yes. Just as Julian leaned in closer, his phone happened to light up at that exact moment. On the screen was Ethan wearing a basketball jersey, his face slightly glistening with sweat. The prominent Adam as Apple, and the way he casually lifted his shirt to reveal his toned abs. What kind of good buddy uses this kind of photo as their screensaver? I glanced at him a few more times, accurately picking up on several key details. A light layer of foundation on his face, a subtle coat of mascara. The deliberately exposed white socks and slender calves, every detail meticulously styled down to the last strand of hair. The moment I caught the overwhelming scent of perfume in the air, my heart immediately skipped a beat. Well, a male love rival. As my mom walked out the door, Julian couldn't be bothered to keep up the act any longer. He crossed his arms and lounged with one leg over the other, exuding arrogance. Sunlight streamed through the window, casting a delicate shadow from Julian's long lashes across his face. To be honest, this face is quite good looking. It's just that right now, no matter how I look at it, I can't seem to like it. Noticing my gaze, he chuckled lightly. Ethan has terrible taste to fancy someone like you. I smiled back at him. If his taste is so bad, how come he never fancied you? He lifted his chin slightly. Ethan does like me, he just doesn't realize it yet. I instantly went from anger to speechlessness. Are you saying he doesn't even know? He asked gay himself. He rolled his eyes at me. None of your business. I nodded. Okay, then let us talk about me. How did you know it was me? Don't worry about how I know. The point is I can find out, and of course Ethan could too. And then what did you come here to remind me to hide better? I'm not being kind. I just want you to know your place. I know Ethan too well. He is soft-hearted and cares about appearances. Eventually, he did tell you he doesn't mind how you look, but we both know that that's not true. He smirked at me. Looks matter, and I think you understand that better than I do. To be honest, I'm not that ugly, just average looking really. Maybe Ethan is just too ridiculously handsome, making people think I'm not good enough for him at first glance. Seeing my silence, Julian continued speaking. I hope you have some self-awareness and stay away from Ethan, even if he comes looking for you or says sweet words. Sure, I agreed readily, then stretched out my hand, handed over. Julian froze. What? I curled my finger. The money? Aren't you supposed to throw $1 million at me to stay away from Ethan? You've said so much. Shouldn't we be at the money throwing part now? Where's the cash? Julian looked both amused and exasperated. $1 million? Keep dreaming. I'm just advising you to know your place. Suit yourself. When you get dumped, don't come crying to me later. My temper flared despite my earlier composure. Why should I listen to you if you're broke? So, what if I get dumped? Ethan's so handsome, even one day with him would be a win for me. No worries, I shot back with a grin, since you'll never get to touch those abs. Big sis will do it for you. The conversation ended on a sour note. Julian left me with nothing but a meaningful glance and the words, just don't regret it later. That same night, I received a direct message on Instagram from a burner account. Big sis, why did you break up with Ethan? Is it because you look nothing like your photos? Are you actually ugly and fat in real life? My heart instantly sank. In the beginning, Ethan and I had met on Instagram. Through the selfies we usually posted, we each accumulated tens of thousands of followers, though we weren't exactly big name influencers. That's how we got connected, from initially just liking each other's posts to staying up all night chatting. Everything felt natural, yet happened unexpectedly. But since it was an online relationship, I chose not to make it public. Ethan respected my decision. He didn't reveal my personal information, only mentioning that he was no longer single. How could anyone know we were in a relationship? I tentatively replied with a question mark. The other person never responded, but soon I forgot about it because I started my new job. Originally, I could scrape by living at home through Instagram ads and occasional commercial illustration work. But my mother couldn't stand me being a homebody anymore and actually pulled strings to get me a job as a CEO's assistant. I figured it was a good chance to lose some weight, so I went 9 Monday. Early in the morning, I stepped into the office building wearing high heels for the first time in ages. But before I could even find my workstation, a chubby little boy came flying toward me and clung to my leg without letting go. Mommy, I thought it was just some lost child separated from his mother, so I crouched down and patted his head. I saw a chubby little face looking at me pitifully and calling out mommy. Leo the first was startled. What are you doing here? I'm not your mommy. You've got the wrong person. Leo cried even harder. No, I didn't make a mistake. Well, I spent a whole day and night looking at photos when I got back last time. It's you. You're my mommy. This little guy has quite the eye for detail. As I flusteredly tried to comfort Leo, whispers kept rising behind me. Isn't that the CEO's son? Why is he calling her mom? Is this the boss's wife? She not what I imagined at all. Married, so young, the CEO looks barely in his 20s. How does he already have such a big kid? No wonder the new employee became the CEO's assistant right away. Turns out it's just the young couple's little game. Are we also part of their play? I couldn't help but darken my expression. Well, I haven't even finished my self-introduction at the new company, yet rumors are already flying everywhere. Leo, come here. The familiar voice made my entire body stiffen. Fate brings enemies together. When I looked up, there was Ethan's face staring back at me. Unlike his usual casual attire, he was wearing a perfectly fitted black suit today, exuding an unmistakable air of restrained allure. Leo immediately turned and wrapped his arms around my neck. No, I want to stay with mommy. Ethan glanced at me. Then you come too. Me 2 minutes later, I walked into the CEO's office with Leo clinging tightly to me. Ethan glanced at Leo before burying his head back in the computer screen. Your job from now on will be taking care of Leo, he said without looking up, pointing casually. That'll be your desk over there. Following his gesture, I saw a solitary desk placed in the corner. Seriously, what kind of CEO shares an office with their assistant? Seeing me hesitate to move, Ethan stopped what he was doing and looked over. What's wrong? Not satisfied. Nothing. I silently held Leo and walked over. Wasn't it just doing nanny work under the title of assistant? I could handle it. The entire morning the office atmosphere was quite peculiar. Ethan remained silent and didn't budge, working harder than I did during my college entrance exams. Leo kept glancing at me, then turning to look at Ethan. Finally, unable to hold back, he ran over and tugged at Ethan's sleeve. Daddy, mommy is finally spending time with you. Why won't you talk to her? Ethan patted Leo's head, lifting his eyes to look at me. She's not your mother. No way, you clearly said yesterday. Leo got halfway through a sentence before Ethan hurriedly covered his mouth, giving him a resentful look. You misheard. Your mom would never pretend not to know you. My heart instantly sank looking at Ethan's expression, clearly sulking but refusing to say anything. I was 80 sure I'd been found out. Even when we were dating, Ethan had a habit of sulking. He'd always bottle up his feelings and ignore me, but the moment I sent even a single punctuation mark, he'd find a way to smooth things over and pour out everything on his mind like beans spilling from a bamboo tube. Thinking this way, I became even more afraid to speak up, worried I might give him an excuse to back down. Seeing that I wasn't responding, Ethan stood up with Leo in his arms and walked over. I'm going to a meeting. Take care of Leo for me. There's a lounge next door. You two can take a nap later. I was taken aback. I can sleep too, of course. He stared at me for 2 seconds, his words carrying a hidden meaning. As long as you're happy. Watching Ethan's retreating figure, I couldn't help but call out to him. Hey, wait a minute. Ethan turned around, lifting his chin proudly with an expression that clearly said, finally, had a change of heart. Go ahead and apologize. I'm ready to forgive you. I was wondering, since I'm taking care of Leo at noon too, that should count as overtime, right? So about the overtime pay. Ethan's face instantly darkened. Don't worry, you'll get every penny. Ethan had just left when the food delivery arrived, from the main dishes to snacks and even bubble tea. Everything was exactly what I liked. Well, that settled it. My heart turned to ice considering all of Ethan's behavior. I was completely exposed. Seeing me staring blankly with a wooden expression, Leo shook my arm. Mom, eat. I'm not hungry. After a moment, I decided to make a quick escape. Leo, can you stay with the receptionist for a while? I need to go out for something. The moment the words left my mouth, Leo instantly clung to me tightly and started crying. Mommy, please don't go. Okay. I'll be back soon. I don't believe you. Daddy messages you every day and you ignore him. Daddy says you don't want us anymore, that you'll never come back. I reached out to wipe his tears. Leo, I'm not your mommy. One day your daddy will find you a mommy even prettier than the one in the photos. No, I want you to be my mommy. Leo kept clinging to me, refusing to let go. No amount of coaxing or persuasion worked. Finally, I gave up. So what if I'm exposed? It doesn't matter anymore. Seeing that I wasn't leaving, Leo cautiously let go of my hand and asked, Mom, why don't you reply to Dad's messages? He sends you so many every day and they're always unread. Every day I have to peek over to see if Dad is crying. Is that so? I thought for a moment and quietly removed Ethan from my block list. Within 2 minutes I received a message. Am I really that terrible? I volunteered to be the other man and you still rejected me. You pretend not to know me. When we meet, I'm really angry. Now I'll never smile at you again. Username reborn as a devoted simp. After I sent the ellipsis, the other side froze for a second before swiftly recalling the message. Me, you've truly mastered the art of message recall. I took the initiative. Let us talk. No more pretending I'm ugly, and I'm coming clean. 11:09 p.m. Ethan ignored Leo's wailing as he sent him home, then took me out for a candlelit dinner. But true to his word, he maintained a cold expression the entire time, without saying a word. Stone-faced as he opened the car door for me, stone-faced during our candlelit dinner, stone-faced when he transferred money to me with the note, overtime pay. Honestly, I can already picture him with a cold expression washing his wife's underwear after marriage. In the dim light, my gaze traveled through the flickering candlelight to Ethan's well-defined fingers, the expensive watch on his wrist, then slowly moved up to the collar of his shirt, his slightly prominent Adam's apple-sharp jawline and rosy lips. Further up were his pitch-black eyes, and by chance our gazes met. My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly averted my eyes like a startled deer. I wish I were a little prettier. Humph. A light scoff came from across the table, as if displeased that I averted my gaze. Ahem, I cleared my throat, and decided to speak first. Let me go first. Ethan straightened slightly, his slender fingers unconsciously tightening. Leo is my brother's child. My brother passed away when he was very young, so I've always had him call me Dad. I remember you said you didn't want children. Perfect. We won't need to adopt either. He paused, then deliberately added, of course, if you suddenly change your mind and want kids, I do have that functionality. Hasn't he changed at all? Still the same Ethan who would spill his entire heart over a single punctuation mark. I didn't ask you here to talk about this. I steadied my slightly trembling hands and lowered my eyelids. You've seen what I really look like. Now nothing like those photos. You deserve better. Ethan frowned. What do you mean by that? I deserve better, not the best like you. So quick with the comebacks. No wonder he was the man I dated online. His playful banter completely dissipated the emotions I'd painstakingly built up. Don't give me that sarcastic tone. I just didn't recognize you at first glance, but I figured it out the second time. Since you didn't want to be recognized, I had no choice but to play along. I went out of my way to buy a house here and transfer to a local branch office, all to surprise you. And how do you repay me? You completely ignored me and even lied about having a boyfriend. Do you know how many days I spent loitering around the community square desperately waiting for your mom to show up so I could chat with her and fish for information about you? If I hadn't subtly hinted to your mom about getting you a job at my company, you'd never have thought to come clean with me today. So that's why it felt so coincidental running into Ethan at work. Turns out it was my mom pulling strings behind the scenes, and she even lied to me about specially asking someone for favors. I knew it. Our family has no connections, Lilich, and I'm pouring my heart out to you right now. Why are you spacing out? Oh, I snapped back to attention. So when you bought property here and transferred your job, was that before or after you saw me in person? Before then, when you first got involved with me, was it because I looked pretty in photos? He paused. Yes. Well, do you understand now? What do you understand? You're beautiful in real life too. Whether we meet or not doesn't affect the decision I've made. Let me put it this way, I don't like handsome guys. Ethan was stunned. I never thought my handsome looks would become an obstacle to finding true love. I'm serious. I opened my mouth but couldn't find the right words to say. No one becomes insecure and sensitive without reason. I remember in 9th grade, when the diary I hid under my desk was passed around the classroom by a tall male classmate, my secretly cherished feelings were exposed to everyone. The boy I had a crush on said nothing, but he never looked me in the eye again. In college, I mustered the courage to confess for the first time. The boy sitting in the back row smiled and agreed. But this relationship was never made public. Later, when we decided to break up, I asked him why. He said a girl like you is like a cheap fast food joint on the corner, the kind of place you'd casually drop by when bored but never take someone to for a proper date. This sentence seemed etched into my bones, influencing my judgment in countless small matters thereafter. There are too many similar incidents, too trivial, yet densely scattered throughout my life, ultimately shaping me into this insecure and overly sensitive person. Later, I'd rather stay alone forever than be anyone's cheap fast food. I looked at Ethan sitting across from me. The warm yellow light shone on him, gilding his hair and profile with a golden glow. He tilted his head slightly. What are you thinking about? I looked at him with a smile, my eyes stinging. I was thinking if you hadn't been tricked by false advertising, someone like you would probably never eat cheap fast food in your entire life. Ethan stared at my reddened eyes. Lilich, and you're not some cheap fast food, you're my gourmet meal. I sniffled and instinctively avoided Ethan's gaze. To say I wasn't moved would be a lie, but I knew we were never meant to be from different worlds. This moment's flutter is but the prelude to more heartbreak in the future. Ethan, thank you for your affection. Someone like you, born to live under the spotlight, might never truly understand how I feel. I believe your feelings are sincere at this moment, but I can't overcome my own barriers. I'm sorry. With that, I didn't even dare wait for his response before scrambling to my feet and fleeing in panic. 12th, the night breeze was a bit chilly. I tucked my frost-reddened fingers in as I waited by the roadside for a cab. I brought you here. At least let me take you back. Ethan's voice came from behind me, his still warm jacket carrying his distinctive scent gently enveloping me like a tender embrace. All right, thinking it would be overly fussy to refuse again, I obediently got into his car. The city's neon lights flickered amidst the clamor of voices, yet inside the car the silence was deafening. Have you ever thought that I might not be the person you imagine me to be? I never thought about it. I glanced at Ethan. You're outstanding in every way, unless you've had plastic surgery. Ethan couldn't help but curl his lips into a smirk, glancing at me through the rearview mirror. If I get plastic surgery, can I be with you? Just say the word, and I'll go under the knife. I chose to ignore his words, looking down at the suit jacket he draped over me, and sighing if only I were a bit thinner, then the oversized jacket might give me a touch of pitiable charm. Ethan sighed. Fine, I'll go order an extra large one. You can even crawl into my sleeve if you want. I couldn't help rolling my eyes. Ethan just had this unique ability to effortlessly dispel my inexplicable melancholy. He was about to say something more when the phone rang. Ethan deliberately showed me the caller ID. Don't get any ideas, it's a guy. I stared at the 3 characters Julian Shun on the screen, feeling somewhat conflicted. Julian's phone call prevented me from exchanging more than a few words with Ethan during our entire journey. I silently cursed in my heart. What a masterful move. Little did I know his tactics. Didn't he stop there just as I stepped out of the elevator? I noticed several missed calls. It's Chloe, my best friend, and the only person who knows my Instagram account and never tires of comforting me by saying the photos don't look too different from my real self. I opened the door while replying to her. What's up? Why so many calls? Lily, check WhatsApp now. A bad feeling crept into my heart as I hurriedly slipped into my slippers and ran to the bedroom to open WhatsApp. Chloe sent me a link to a post with my unflattering photo prominently displayed on the cover. With trembling hands, I opened my Instagram. Instantly, countless red 99 notifications flooded in, almost suffocating me under their weight. I was being cyberbullied. After the breakup, I had blocked all of Ethan's contact methods, including social media platforms, so I had no idea that Ethan had been posting melancholic captions every day for a while. A post from 10 days ago suddenly went viral yesterday and even made it to XS trending topics today. The picture showed his profile in the darkness, a cigarette between his fingers with the caption, "If emotions had weather, I'd be trapped in a sandstorm." This caption went viral because of its intense atmosphere and also because sharp-eyed netizens spotted an invaluable painting in the background behind Ethan. Netizens joked, "So even rich second-generation heirs can get their hearts broken. Young master, I'm different from other girls, I'm a guy." Then an insider came forward to reveal that Ethan had failed in his online to offline romance because the girl was too ugly. After cross-referencing, netizens realized I was the only one who had recently unfollowed Ethan. At the same time, another netizen exposed my unflattering photos. In less than a day, I gained hundreds of thousands of followers while Ethan's follower count approached 1 million. Meanwhile, my comment section was flooded with insults. Some called me a fat cow who had traumatized Ethan. Others labeled me a gold digger who swindled money and seduction. All sorts of fabricated rumors were flying everywhere, as if some invisible giant hand had quietly pushed my clueless self into the eye of the storm. This internet drama propelled one question to the top of trending charts. Do we fall for the photos in online relationships or the person behind the conversations? I don't know what Ethan truly fell for. All I know is that right now I'm completely falling apart. Tears welling up in my eyes gradually blurred the screen filled with curses and insults. Chloe kept sending WhatsApp messages nonstop. Don't panic, just turn off your DMs and comments first. It's fine, any publicity is good publicity, you're about to hit the jackpot. Lily, are you okay? The phone kept ringing with Ethan's incessant calls. I managed to reply with a weak "I'm fine" before hastily powering off and tossing the phone aside. I'm not usually at a loss for words, yet when others criticize my appearance, I can never retort immediately. Because deep down I agree with them. Even I had to admit they were right. That's why when Julian kept putting me down back then I couldn't fight back at all. In the unlit room, I hugged my knees in the corner of the bed, my mind completely blank. I don't know how much time passed before harsh light suddenly flooded the room. Ethan strode in and pulled me into his arms. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. All those posts were meant for you to see. I never expected this to happen. I've already deleted everything. Don't look at any of that these days, he murmured, cradling my face in his hands as he gently wiped the tears from the corners of my eyes. Lily, just leave everything to me, I'll handle it. How I dodged his touch slightly. I deceived you from the start, and those unflattering photos really are of me getting criticized is what I deserve. Just go. I tried to push him away, but my arms had no strength left. Ethan remained silent, stubbornly holding me tight without letting go. At some point the lights dimmed again. Lily, you like me too, don't you? Gentle lingering kisses fell upon my forehead, eyes, nose, lips, and neck. My already blank mind was overwhelmed by a different kind of emptiness, leaving no room for other thoughts. At the edge of consciousness, I heard his voice. You're beautiful, the most beautiful. 14. I don't know how long I slept that night. When I groggily opened my eyes, it still wasn't dawn. The sound of shallow breathing near my ear made me freeze. My eyes flew open as I frantically pushed at him with my hands. Ethan. Ethan pressed my head against his chest. Be good, sleep a little longer. I'm freaking out here. What do you mean sleep? Get dressed and get out now before my mom wakes up. Huh? Ethan froze for a second. Don't slander me like that. I'm fully dressed. Thank you very much. Now it was my turn to freeze. Yesterday, I think I fell asleep at the critical moment. Didn't he even get to touch those abs? TSK, what a shame. Seeing my reaction, Ethan propped himself up on his hands, nuzzling against my cheek with a tempting tone. Actually, if you want me to take it off, it's not too late now. What kind of outrageous talk is this? I pushed Ethan away. Hurry up and leave before my mom wakes up. Her knowing I secretly work as an internet celebrity is one thing, but if she finds out I secretly brought a man home, she'd break my legs for sure. Don't worry, Ethan rubbed his chest where I punched him hard. Auntie went traveling and went to be back for a couple days, didn't she tell you? Oh, that does sound familiar. Wait then, how did you get in last night? Auntie gave me the password. Did you put some kind of spell on my mom or something? Bet you didn't expect this. You don't recognize me, but Auntie still remembers. What do you mean he didn't answer me? Just pulled me into his arms. Stop fussing for now. Let me check if the trending topic has been taken down. In an instant, the memories of last night as vicious insults and curses came flooding back. I looked at the phone ID thrown by the bedside, took a deep breath, and pressed the power button. I had to face it eventually. I thought as soon as I opened WhatsApp, countless unread messages poured in. I ignored most of the onlookers and irrelevant people clicking open Chloe's message. She sent a lot, and the last few were a link. Holy shit, Ethan clarified everything. Damn, you secretly eating this well, and here I was worried sick. I stole a glance at Ethan's profile, the faint glow of my phone casting a low pixel aesthetic across his face. What could he possibly clarify? That I'm just ordinarily ugly, not exceptionally ugly. I hesitated for a moment before clicking the link. It led to a post Ethan had made at 3 a.m. The ugly one is me, she's beautiful, the most beautiful. This caption was paired with a photo from many years ago. The chubby boy wore a tattered school uniform with a large tear at the knee clumsily stitched together with crude needlework. His dark skin flushed red, apple cheeks bulging from his smile until his eyes nearly disappeared. Beside the boy stood a little girl, hands tucked shyly behind her back, tilting her head with a bashful smile toward the camera. She looked sweet and soft as cotton candy. That little girl was me, and this boy, I vaguely remember him too. His family wasn't well off, and he always wore tattered clothes. Being rather chubby on top of that, he often faced exclusion from others. Whether it was forming teams for activities, group assignments, or PE classes, he was always the one left out. Seeing him standing helplessly outside the crowd always tugged at my heartstrings. Whenever I noticed him being left alone, I'd run over and invite him to join my team. Sometimes when I saw he had no lunch, I'd even invite him over to my place for a meal. I never saw him again after graduating from middle school. Since the little boy's family wasn't well off, and his name wasn't Ethan, I never connected the two. My fingers lightly traced over that photo, feeling like the face in the picture was both unfamiliar and familiar to me. It was clearly me, yet not the me I remembered. I never imagined that someone as ordinary as me could shine so brightly in someone else's memories. Just as I was lost in thought, a warm touch brushed against my cheek. Do you remember now, dummy? I pointed at the photo on my phone. Is this you? Yes, seriously, did you change your name, or did your family win the lottery? Something like that. He nodded. After graduating middle school, my biological parents found me that when I learned I'd been trafficked, then I changed my name and moved with them to another city. I was dumbfounded. You've changed so much. He shrugged. Can't help it, money really nourishes a person. So when we were dating online, you already knew it was me. Yeah, I added you when I saw the same name, then pieced together the clues to realize it was really you, but it had been too long since we last met, so I didn't recognize you at first. Damn, Ethan's life is really too dramatic. By the way, I looked into my post going viral. Someone was behind it. I've already bought other trending topics to suppress it. Julian said he'd help me find out who's really behind it. Julian, yeah, he's my childhood friend. We've been hanging out since high school. I'll introduce you to him someday. So, how did you two meet? He's got a soft personality. Back in high school, people kept bullying him, so I helped him out. After a few times, he just started following me around like a shadow. Am I really that soft-hearted? For a moment, I wasn't sure whether to tell him or not. How should I put this? That your best friend has actually been coveting you for a long time. Ethan turned my face toward him. How about now? Is this okay? Okay, what? He gripped my chin, unable to avoid his gaze. I lowered my eyelids and stared at his lips instead. Plump and adorable looking, so kissable. Can we make up now? You and I have always belonged to the same world. Whether through the lens or in reality, you'll always be the most beautiful presence in my life. I lowered my eyelids. Without speaking, Lily, Chin, you're making me want to kiss you. I had no choice but to raise my eyes to meet his gaze. Is this better now? He shook his head. No, I want to kiss you even more now. Then like this, I gently covered his eyes with my hand, straddled his lap, and softly brushed kisses across his cheek, the tip of his nose, and the corner of his mouth. His breathing grew heavier until he could no longer restrain himself. He reached out to grip the back of my neck, deepening the kiss. The night was still long. 15, we officially became a couple. Thanks to Ethan's financial power, the public opinion was easily reversed. For several consecutive days, the trending topic of confession dominated the charts. Countless marketing accounts vividly narrated Ethan's long history of unrequited love, and the comments quickly shifted to two extremes. The netizens might have moved on, but my life hadn't. The hateful messages and curses in my private inbox still lingered, and my unflattering, candid photos remained everywhere. But I didn't care anymore because my boyfriend was a praise-giving robot that literally showered me with gold coins. He never tired of accompanying me shopping, buying me all kinds of pretty dresses along with endless compliments. One spontaneous trip to the gym together resulted in a 5-figure transfer to my account afterwards, accompanied by countless virtual kisses from him. We went to Iceland to see the northern lights, to Kenya for the Great Migration, and to Antarctica to see penguins and glaciers. The worries that once haunted me day and night now seem insignificant before this magnificent and awe-inspiring scenery. Ethan acted as my professional photographer throughout the journey, claiming he wanted to capture my beauty anytime, anywhere. Under his lens, I appeared natural, relaxed, and beautiful. Every day since being with him has been fulfilling. I can't remember the last time I stepped on a scale or fretted over the fluctuating numbers. I finally mustered the courage to open my old social media account, ignoring the countless malicious messages I received, and moved on with my life. At this time, I received an invitation to an offline fashion show. The person responsible for sending the invitation on behalf of the organizers was Julian. After some thought, I decided to accept. On the day of the event, I didn't wear makeup or dress up deliberately. After waiting backstage for a long time, Julian finally arrived late. He smiled and said, "Hello, sister-in-law." I nodded cheerfully hello. The organizers suddenly decided not to arrange a makeup artist for your sister-in-law. Anti-anxiety trending now. Anyway, your unflattering photos are already all over the internet, so you probably don't mind, right? I nodded. Sure, that suits me just fine. Whether I wear makeup or not doesn't matter. It might even encourage other girls who are as sensitive and anxious as I am. Julian couldn't help but let out a cold laugh. You don't actually believe that nonsense about confident women being the most beautiful, do you? You can fool others, but don't fool yourself. I shrugged. I am very beautiful, otherwise why would Ethan like me? Don't you think so? He was about to retort when I forcefully cut him off. That trending topic that suddenly blew up back then, and those so-called insiders, that was all you're doing, wasn't it? Indeed, you could say I was the one who brought you two together, but don't get too pleased, brother. Ethan will eventually realize it's me he really likes. A sudden sound of someone spitting out water came from the doorway. After a few seconds of silence, the door slowly opened. Ethan's expression was complicated. I thought you were trying to steal my girl, but you aren't. You already engaged. Julian flushed, but insisted stubbornly, doesn't matter. Ethan was silent for a long moment. Was it you who did that thing with Lily? She's not worthy of you. Even if you only like girls, you should at least go for someone prettier. I wouldn't have to swallow my pride like this. Julian, Ethan's face darkened. Have you forgotten how you were when you first transferred to our school? Back then, so many people bullied you, looked down on you for your poor family background, and excluded you because your personality was different from theirs. You cried to me about how much you hated those people. Take a look in the mirror. What's the difference between you and them now? He pointed at himself. Me, I'm little chubby. I've always looked after you because I saw you as a younger brother and also as my former self, but it seems you've long since changed. At that moment, the assistant knocked on the door. Lily, it's almost time for your runway walk. Ethan took my hand and glanced at Julian. Let us go, take care. After the event, I never saw Julian again. Rumor has it he canceled the engagement on his own initiative and went abroad alone. 17 later, I learned to apply exquisite makeup and achieved a healthy figure, yet I still preferred attending offline events barefaced. During one interview, a host asked me, "Why do you choose to attend events without makeup? Is it to grab attention and chase clout?" I just shrugged because this feeling of completely not caring about others' opinions is so exhilarating, it's almost addictive. When this interview aired, Ethan and I were taking a stroll through Provence with Leo in our arms facing vast fields of lavender stretching like an ocean. Watching my interview on his phone screen, Ethan couldn't help but ruffle my hair. "Look how impressive you've become now." I snatched his phone away. "Stop watching that with such beautiful scenery right before us. Why bother with a phone?" He kissed my forehead. "I wasn't looking at my phone. I was looking at you. There are countless forms of beauty in this world, but to me you are the most beautiful of them all." The end.